Wow, oh wow. So the Cleveland Cavaliers just lost to the Detroit Pistons, and honestly, I'm not too upset about this. Yes, the Cleveland Cavaliers did choke this game, and yes, the Cleveland Cavaliers did get robbed in this game, in my opinion, by the referees. Either or, it doesn't matter. The game is done, and we have to make a recap video about this. And honestly, I'm just super happy on how the guys played. We were without James Harden and Donovan Mitchell, our number one and our number two best players on our team, and we took the number one seed, healthy Detroit Pistons, to overtime with the backups. I have been seeing similar reactions from Cavs fans all over social media saying how this game just makes them want to play the Detroit Pistons in the second round even more. And if that's the case, I agree with them 100%. Give us Detroit. I think a healthy Cavs team against a healthy Detroit team is a 5-game series. The Cavs beat them in 5. Maybe Detroit takes one at home, but I don't even think that should be happening. Honestly, a gentleman's sweep should be appropriate for a Detroit Cleveland matchup in the playoffs. But let's talk player performances for the Cavs. First up, Jarrett Allen. Ever since Black History Month, this dude's been on a tear, averaging 20.5 points, 11 rebounds, 1.7 assists, and that is only in February. Wow. Whew. I don't know if it's because it's Black History Month and Jarrett is a little bit of a geek, but he's been turning it up. And this is what Kenny Atkinson's been wanting. He wants Jarrett Allen to be aggressive. He wants him to be assertive early on in games. And I believe that if Jarrett can do this consistently, even when the playoffs start, hopefully against bigger bigs like Mitchell Robinson, Jalen Duren, we just seen him do it today. This unlocks the Cavs. This makes them not just a contender, but this makes them a championship level threat. Because yes, in the past we've been good, but in the playoffs, Jarrett Allen has shrinked. He's played soft, and we can't have that anymore. It's proven that when he plays soft, along with Evan Mobley, we can't win. We need him and Mobley to step up, but more importantly, Jarrett Allen, considering that he is our center, our biggest guy out there. We need him to step up. And if he plays like this come playoff time, I believe the Cavs should be in a good spot. Next up, let's talk about Evan Mobley. Evan dropped 23 points today on 12 rebounds and 1 assist, 4 blocks, and 1 turnover. Honestly, I believe this was a great Evan Mobley game because you have to think about it like this. Mobley, this is his 4th game back from injury. Obviously, he's not going to be at the peak of his powers. And yes, he did have a costly mistake at the end where he had 2 opportunities to shoot the 3-pointer over Tobias Harris and settled for the worst opportunity at the worst time. But we can forget about that because all players make that sort of mistake. And I don't want to get on Mobley too much considering a lot of Cavs fans have been. But you got to give the man his props. He went 4 for 8 from 3 also, which is a really big plus. That's 50% from the 3-point line. That's a plus. And if Mobley can just be assertive like he was today, dunking over Jalen Duren, which I really like, and dunking over Cade Cunningham, y'all's favorite MVP candidate, then I don't see how the Cavs can be stopped. If Mobley's aggressive, if Mobley's not passive, if Mobley wants to actually attack the rim with force, and he can do it, that is great for the Cavs, and I can't wait for this. Hopefully he can expand on this. Hopefully become more efficient, especially in the low post, because I've been seeing him get bullied recently by lower and smaller forwards. Let's just see how this goes, and I'm excited for Evan Mobley. But now let's talk about the negative. This being our costly ass turnovers. We had 18 turnovers today as a team. We gave up 21 offensive rebounds. We gave up 19 second chance points. That is not a recipe for success. And I know, yes, we are undersized at the guard position, but that is no excuse for Mobley, Thomas Bryant, Daquan Tomlin, Jarrett Allen to get out rebounded. 21 offensive rebounds is awful. The Pistons had 4 offensive rebounds back to back to back to back in one segment. While I was watching that, I was crashing out. I can't even think to myself how big men who are over 7 foot can't grab a rebound. Cade Cunningham, I know he's not 7 foot, he's 6'9", but what are we doing? Get the rebound. The Cavs have struggled with that, and that is our number one weakness. And I hope in the playoffs that we do not face a team that can exploit the weaknesses. Every team can, but it's to a certain extent. New York, they can do that. Detroit, they can do that. And that's what I'm a little worried about. In the turnovers, more especially. Dennis Schröder had 8 turnovers. And I understand trying to get your big men involved, but can we stop running a pick and roll in the crowded paint when Detroit plays 2 bigs down there? Every time we're doing dump off passes down low, Mobley can't get that. Jarrett Allen can't get that. But the Pistons guys can because they can read it, they can see it. So if we can stop making boneheaded errors, I think the Cavs will be good. But we just got to relax on these turnovers. Stop feeding the bigs down low. Get them make it work naturally. They kept trying to feed the bigs. They kept trying to feed Mobley. They kept trying to feed Allen, and that costed us. That was 18 turnovers. No, that was 17 turnovers. But more importantly, that was 8 turnovers from Dennis Schröder because he kept trying to get the bigs involved. You got to feed them high. You can't feed them low. With all that being said, I still believe in the Cavs. I won't stop believing in them. We do play the Brooklyn Nets tomorrow, I believe. I'd have to check, but I believe we play the Brooklyn Nets, which should be a good bounce back spot for all of the guys because that's free work right there. We've been playing a lot of contenders, and we need something. We need a cool down game. After that, we do play Detroit again, but this time at home, and hopefully Donovan Mitchell, hopefully James Harden. I'm not sure about him because he is injured with his thumb. Obviously, he's injured. And after that, we play the Boston Celtics. So this is a prove it run for me and for all Cavs fans to see if we can actually hang with the big boys in the East. But honestly, I believe us healthy could beat any other team in the NBA healthy. We just got to get back to health, and we'll see. With time, we'll see if Harden's injury is really severe, along with Keon Ellis. But from what our reports are saying is that Keon Ellis isn't super. It's not super. It's not that important, obviously. Along with James Harden, he said he wants to play through the injury. Hopefully, this is not one of those things where we're really banged up come playoff time. I really hope that's not the case because that seems to be the case every single year. Stay tuned for more Cavs content. I'll make a recap video on the Nets game. Probably be super easy video. I could probably make one at halftime. But yeah, Cavs fans out there, stay tuned, and I hope to see y'all next time.